All right, welcome to the Comic Book Shop of Doom. I'm your host. This video is not for children, so if you're under 13, get your parents' permission to watch this video. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, I got a really quick list of comic books that DC canceled. So these are all on the cancellation coming up. Aquaman, Hawkman, Teen Titans, Suicide Squad, Young Justice, John Constantine Hellblazer, Batgirl, Batman and the Outsiders, Justice League Odyssey. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 so far, and more to come. Rumors are that DC is basically only going to be publishing Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman books. And then an occasional other one here and there. They're going to license out their statues and all that to either Mattel or Hasbro or whoever comes up with more money. Todd McFarlane, possibly. And they're going to do young adult novels. Now, here's an opportunity for you. If you're a comic book creator and you've been watching what these guys like Ethan Van Sciver, your boy Zach, Richard C. Meyer, Cecil, even Preston Poulter at Pocket Jacks Comics. These guys have been making money off of Kickstarter and Indiegogo and all the other crowdfunding sites. I'm going to tell you how you can license DC characters. Now, if you send an email or your own letter or try calling the office, they're going to blow you off. You got to go through a lawyer. So it's going to cost you a couple $100 at first. You get a lawyer and you tell them, okay, let's just theoretically say that you want to do a Red Tornado comic book. So it's a DC character. You go to a lawyer and you tell them, I want you to contact DC Comics. I want to license this character for either like a graphic novel, a one-shot, whatever. And I want to solicit it on one of these crowdfunding sites. So what he'll do is he'll write up a legal letter and he'll explain who you are, he represents you, and you want to license this character and any other characters for this one-shot. And you send it to them. You go get one of the comic books, the current ones, and they have licensing information and all that, so he could get the address or whoever to send the letter off to, and they'll take it seriously. And then if they wanna do something, they'll call you back. So this is gonna take a couple $100 easy. I mean, it's not guaranteed they're gonna go for it. Like if you got some goofy idea for a story, they might not go for it. But it'll get your foot in the door where you could pitch them whatever you want to do, and you cut a deal. Like everybody else is say, look, how much do you want if I want to do this Red Tornado story? I'll put it out through Kickstarter, and say I'll give you $1,000 for the character, and I'll give you 20% of whatever the book sells. It's found money for DC Comics at this point. AT&T is looking for anything. So like I said, those numbers are just off the top of my head. They're not what I think that they would do. You have to feel them out. But I think somebody like even Ethan Van Sciver could do something like this. But the problem is he's not going to have the rights permanently to that book. Probably DC will let you do it one time print deal. And then after that, you got to license it back or something. And they would get the reprint rights. It doesn't mean they're going to put it out, but they would own it. So but the trade-off is you're getting a guaranteed character that sold comics at one point. So what I would do is, if you're going to do something like that, I would pick one of these characters or two or something or whatever. And if you have an idea, if you have a favorite character, if you like Booster Gold, if you like the Blue Beetle, if you like the Peacemaker, you send them a letter through your lawyer, he contacts them, and then they would take you serious. They're like, okay, this guy's a real businessman. And you say, this is what I want to do. I want to solicit this book on Kickstarter. Can I license these characters? And then I'm thinking you'd have to give them a full script. So they would have to look it over to make sure that you're not going to embarrass their characters doing some kind of goofy stuff. But I seriously think that they would take a deal like this at this point. Because at some point, they're going to be licensing out their comics. They're cutting too many books too fast. So they're hemorrhaging money, and this is found money. So I would put that in the letter that this is a guaranteed, income here for them. They're going to get X amount of dollars up front, and then they're going to get a percentage of my sales. And then it's up to you. You have to produce. And then you have to push the book on one of these crowdfunding platforms, get a YouTube channel, whatever. Get somebody to, send out a press release to these different comic book sites and say, hey, look at this. Joe Blow is going to do a Red Tornado comic book, and he's going to use Deathstroke the Terminator as the villain. I'm just saying, and it might get some press and you might get some sales out of it. But, it is a gamble, but it's the only way you'd get your foot in the door. And you know what? Like I said, getting your foot in the door, they may like you and hire you to do other books later on. But this is a fast way for somebody to make a quick buck if they're good, and they got to prove it. But who knows? But somebody would do it. I'm a little short of cash because I got a couple ideas, but I'm more of a Marvel guy. But Marvel hasn't really tipped their hat yet with how they're doing. But DC is seriously in bad shape because of AT&T's cutting back. So if you want to be taken serious, go that route. So have a legal letter sent by a lawyer, and then they'll take you seriously. Have a good night.